Welcome to Mind Beyond Matter, a space where we explore the boundaries of consciousness, reality, and identity. Part 1: You are not who you think you are. Let's begin not with answers, but with a question. Who are you? Not your name. Not your job. Not even your thoughts. Strip all of that away, and what's left? Most of us go our entire lives assuming we are the person behind our eyes. A self built from memories, beliefs, and habits. But have you ever actually found that person? Think about it. You've changed your opinions. Your body has aged. Your values, desires, and dreams have all shifted over time. So if all of those things are temporary, what's the constant? What if the self you believe in is just a story, a mask worn by something much deeper? When you say I, what do you mean? The voice in your head? The emotions that come and go? Or is there something else, something quieter, watching all of it unfold? We spend years constructing our identity. I am successful. I am broken. I am anxious. I am enlightened. But these are just labels. Temporary roles in a play that you didn't even write. Behind every thought you have, there is awareness. You are not the thought, you are the one aware of the thought. You are not the fear, you are the space in which fear arises and disappears. The ego, what we think of as me, is a clever illusion. It's the collection of all the stories we've been told and retold until we mistake the narrative for the narrator. But look closely. Have you ever seen the thinker of your thoughts? You can't, because the moment you look, all that's left is observation. No thinker. No doer. Just awareness, quietly present. In meditation, in deep introspection, in moments of awe, something strange happens. The sense of me dissolves. The chatter fades. And what remains is something vast, silent, and deeply peaceful. That's not your mind slowing down. That's the illusion of identity falling away. It's not about becoming someone new. It's about realizing you were never who you thought you were to begin with. Even neuroscience can't locate a self in the brain. There's no single region responsible for you. Only circuits, chemicals, patterns, processes. But never a central observer. Never a core identity. So who is watching those processes? Who is asking these questions? We're taught to seek purpose outside of ourselves. To find meaning in relationships, careers, possessions. But what if the most important journey is inward? What if the true mystery isn't the cosmos, but you? Not the you on your passport. Not the you in your resume. But the formless awareness that's been silently watching since the beginning. Every child experiences this naturally. They don't yet identify with roles or titles. They simply are. But as we grow, we forget. We build walls of identity, one belief at a time. And eventually, we confuse the prison for the person. But if you're watching this, something in you is starting to remember. You are not your trauma. You are not your past. You are not your future. You are the witness. The stillness. The presence behind the mask. This realization isn't just spiritual, it's liberating. Because when you stop clinging to a fixed identity, you also stop fearing its loss. The moment you see the self as a story, you can begin to write a new one, or simply rest in the space where no story is needed. Freedom isn't found in becoming more. It's found in needing less. Just presence. Just awareness. Just being. This is just the beginning. In Part 2, we'll explore the idea that consciousness isn't just beyond the ego, it may be beyond the brain itself. If this stirred something in you, subscribe to Mind Beyond Matter and join us on this journey inward. Not to become someone new, but to remember what you've always been. Part 2, the mind is not in the brain. You've been told your entire life that your mind lives in your brain. That your thoughts, your feelings, your consciousness, all of it is produced by 3 pounds of gray matter behind your eyes. But what if that story is incomplete? What if your mind doesn't live in the brain at all? This is Mind Beyond Matter, and in this second part, we'll go deeper into the nature of consciousness, beyond the skull, beyond the body, and into a space where science, mystery, and spirit begin to merge. Let's start with something simple, yet radical. We have never directly observed consciousness coming from the brain. What we've seen are correlations. Neurons fire, and a person reports a thought. Regions light up in an fMRI, and we say, that's where memory happens. But is that creation or simply reflection? Think of a mirror. It reflects your face perfectly. Every detail, every change. But does it create your face? The brain may be the most sophisticated mirror ever created, not the source of consciousness, but the interface. A receiver. A filter. A translator of something much larger. This idea is not new. Aldous Huxley once described the brain as a reducing valve, a filter that narrows down the infinite field of consciousness into a manageable stream for daily survival. Think about that. The mind, instead of being created by the brain, is filtered through it. The brain doesn't produce the signal, it limits it. Just like your phone doesn't create the internet, it just connects to it. Let's look at dreams. Every night, your body goes still. Your eyes close. The world outside disappears. And yet, an entire universe appears inside you. You see places you've never been. You have conversations with people who don't exist. You feel real emotions from events that never happened. No sensory input. No physical stimuli. And yet the experience is immersive, convincing, and vivid. Where does all of it come from? You say, it's just the brain. But then, what's the difference between your dream self and your waking self, if both can generate a world? Could the brain be switching frequencies? Like a radio tuning to different stations of reality? Now consider near-death experiences. Hundreds of thousands of people around the world report the same story. They leave their body. They see things from above. They experience peace, light, even clarity. Some return with knowledge they couldn't possibly have known, details observed while their brain was clinically inactive. Skeptics say it's hallucination. But what if it's the mind set free, no longer tethered to the filter of the brain? When the brain shuts down, the signal doesn't stop, it's simply no longer filtered. The person, the identity, may vanish, but awareness remains. This isn't wishful thinking. Even scientists like Sir Roger Penrose and Stuart Hameroff have explored quantum theories of consciousness that suggest awareness may exist outside the brain, embedded in the very fabric of the universe. Another clue, split brain studies. In rare medical procedures, the connection between the two hemispheres of the brain is cut. And something wild happens, two separate awarenesses emerge. One hand writes a sentence. The other tries to erase it. One side knows a word, the other does not. Two selves in one body. So which is the real you? And more importantly, if the brain can split awareness, what does that say about its origin? It suggests consciousness may not be in the brain. It may be something the brain channels, like a prism splitting light into colors. Let's stretch further. In many ancient traditions, the mind is not located in the head at all. The heart, the gut, the whole body is seen as conscious. Not metaphorically, literally. And now, science is catching up. Your gut has a neural network of its own. Your heart sends more signals to the brain than the brain sends to the heart. So what if awareness isn't localized? What if your consciousness extends far beyond your body, and always has? Have you ever sensed someone staring at you from behind? Felt a presence before you saw anything? Picked up a mood in a room without a word being spoken? These may not be flukes. They may be glimpses, brief cracks in the illusion of isolation. What we call mind may be more like a field that isn't generated by the brain, but experienced through it. Like water taking the shape of its container. The container doesn't create the water. It only shapes it. This changes everything. It means you are not inside your mind. Your mind may be inside you, the real you. Not the identity, not the personality, but the awareness that contains it all. And if this is true, then death is not the end. Because what wasn't created by the brain doesn't die with it. Consciousness continues. Maybe in new forms. Maybe in no form. But it never truly ends, because it never truly began. In part 3, we'll ask the next question. If the world we experience arises within awareness, what does that say about the nature of reality itself? Stay with us on Mind Beyond Matter. Because once you question where the mind begins, you begin to see that everything you experience may be happening not around you, but within you. Subscribe. Reflect. And most of all, remember. You are more than the brain. You are the sky, not the cloud. The signal, not the receiver. The awareness, behind it all. The universe inside you. Full YouTube script. Everything you've ever known, every sound, every color, every thought has happened in one place. Your mind. We speak of a world out there, full of objects, places, and people. But have you ever touched anything outside your consciousness? Light doesn't pour into your eyes as colors. Waves hit the retina, and your brain translates them into a painting you call reality. Sound? Just air pressure. Until the mind gives it meaning. Even time, linear, ticking, irreversible, is not something you experience directly. You remember a past. You anticipate a future. But all you've ever truly known is now. And that now happens inside you. Welcome back to Mind Beyond Matter, where today, we explore something radical. What if the universe you experience doesn't exist out there, but in here? Let's start simple. Close your eyes. Imagine the ocean. Waves crashing, gulls soaring, salt in the air. Now open your eyes. Is your waking reality any more real than that inner experience? You believe the waking world is external. But all you ever have are internal representations. You don't perceive the world, you perceive signals, interpreted by the mind. The world you see is a virtual model. Consider a virtual reality headset. You look around and see a room. You feel immersed. It feels real. But the room isn't there. It's being rendered by a system based on data. Your brain is doing the same thing. It's not showing you reality. It's giving you a user interface. A simplified, symbolic version of what might be out there, if anything is. Cognitive scientist Donald Hoffman argues that objective reality, if it exists, has nothing to do with what we experience. We evolved to survive, not to perceive truth. What we see is not reality, it's a useful illusion. And just like icons on a desktop don't show you the circuits of the computer, your perception doesn't show you what's really there. Now take this further. When you look at the stars, when you feel emotion, when you taste food. Where is that happening? Not in the object. Not even in your brain. It's happening in awareness. Everything appears within you. Even your body. Even your thoughts. You don't move through the world. The world moves through you. This is more than philosophy. Quantum physics hints at it too. In the famous double-slit experiment, particles behave like waves when unobserved, probabilities, not things. But when measured, they collapse into a fixed form. Meaning? Reality doesn't become real until it's observed. It doesn't exist without a perceiver. And who is that perceiver? You. What if everything we call the universe? Stars, planets, matter is a projection of the perceiving mind? Not metaphorically. Literally. You are not a speck floating in a vast universe. The universe is unfolding inside you. Like a dream. In a dream, you encounter characters, places, events. They feel separate. But when you wake up, you realize it was all you. Could waking life be the same? Could this be the deeper awakening? Let's revisit a famous thought from Advaita Vedanta. The world is not separate from the self. The self is the world. This doesn't mean you're imagining everything. It means you're hosting everything within awareness. Just like clouds float in the sky, thoughts and sensations float in you. And the sky isn't changed by the clouds. You remain untouched. The same idea appears in Buddhism, Taoism, and even modern idealist philosophy. Not because it's poetic, but because when you investigate awareness deeply, this is what remains. Even language is misleading. We say, I am in the world. But flip it. The world is in you. Not you, the ego. You, the consciousness in which this entire dance is happening. It's not mystical. It's immediate. Try it now. Notice the room you're in. The sounds, the space. Now ask, where is all of this happening? Is it out there? Or is it all arising within your field of experience? And what if that field has no edges? If this is true, if reality emerges inside awareness, then the barriers we perceive between self and other, mind and matter, dissolve. You are not in the universe. The universe is in you. This isn't solipsism. It's the invitation to recognize that reality and self are not two things. There is only one seamless being appearing as many. You. Me. Time. Space. All arising in consciousness. All passing like waves. On the ocean of you. In part 4, we'll go even further. What if not only your mind, but everything, is conscious? Not metaphorically, but as a fundamental quality of existence? Join us for the finale of Mind Beyond Matter, where we ask the final question. Is consciousness not just inside us, but the very ground of all reality? Subscribe. Reflect. Wake up. Because you are not a thing moving through space. You are the space itself. Part 4, Consciousness is the ground of reality. Have you ever wondered what the universe would look like if it didn't have you to observe it? We've spent this series exploring the boundaries of consciousness, the nature of self, and the possibility that everything you know might be happening within you, not outside you. But in this final episode, we'll take the deepest plunge yet. What if consciousness is not a byproduct of the brain or the mind, but the very ground of all reality? What if everything is conscious, in some way? From the very first moments of this journey, you've been guided to see through the illusion of separation. The self is not fixed. The mind is not the brain. Reality isn't out there. But even more radical than that, what if the universe itself is conscious? What if the material world isn't just an unconscious, inert thing, but is infused with awareness, intelligence, and experience? What if everything, from the smallest atom to the largest galaxy, is a conscious entity in its own right, expressing itself through form, through matter? In this final part, we'll explore this mind-bending idea that reality itself is alive, and not only alive, but aware. Part 4, Consciousness is the ground of reality. Have you ever wondered what the universe would look like if it didn't have you to observe it? Throughout this series, we've explored the boundaries of consciousness, the nature of self, and the possibility that everything you know might be happening within you, not outside of you. In this final episode, we'll explore something more radical. What if consciousness is not a byproduct of the brain or the mind, but the very ground of all reality? What if everything is conscious, in some way? Let's start by asking. What if consciousness is not unique to humans or animals, but is a fundamental quality of the universe itself? Think of panpsychism, the idea that consciousness is everywhere, from atoms to galaxies. What if every electron, every photon, every particle of light has some flicker of awareness? This isn't just philosophical speculation. It's becoming a real topic of conversation among physicists. Take quantum physics, the study of the fundamental nature of reality. When you observe the subatomic world, particles don't behave like things at all. They behave like possibilities. They don't settle into a definite state until they are observed. Why? Is it simply because we're watching them? Or is it because consciousness itself is part of the equation shaping reality through observation? This suggests that consciousness might not just be a byproduct of the brain. It might be the very fabric of reality itself. The universe doesn't exist until it is observed. The act of observation could be what brings the universe into being. Not just a human observer, but consciousness itself, at the core of all existence. Now, let's go deeper. We often think of consciousness as something that arises from the brain. But what if that's the wrong way to look at it? What if the brain is more of a receiver, like a radio tuned to a station of awareness? It doesn't create the signal, it just picks it up. Consider the analogy of cells in your body. They seem to know how to divide, when to die, and how to repair themselves. How do they know this? Could it be that intelligence or consciousness is embedded in every cell, every molecule? You are not just your brain. You are every part of your body, each cell conscious and aware in its own way. The laws of physics, the very structure of the universe, seem to be imbued with intelligence. Why do atoms form molecules? Why do molecules form cells? There seems to be an organizing principle at work, a consciousness guiding the universe into its current state. What if this intelligence is conscious in itself, constantly shaping reality from within? Now, let's think about quantum entanglement, where particles separated by vast distances remain mysteriously connected. What if this connection is consciousness itself, uniting all parts of the universe through a non-local field of awareness? Reality is not just a mechanical system. It's alive, aware, intelligent. The universe is not just made of inert matter, it's a process of ongoing creation, guided by a conscious principle that permeates all things. So, what does this mean for you and me? If consciousness is the ground of reality, then you are not separate from the universe. You are not just an observer of the world. You are part of the world, a co-creator of reality. You are a channel through which the universe expresses itself. You are not just in the world. The world is in you. Let's return to the concept of cosmic consciousness. Many ancient traditions spoke of unity with the cosmos, a deep connection that transcends individual identity. Mystics have long reported merging with the universe, feeling the pulse of existence within themselves. What if this experience is not a spiritual illusion, but a direct perception of the truth? The universe is not a machine, but a living, conscious entity. It's not just around you, it's within you, and you are it. If consciousness is indeed the foundation of reality, then everything, every particle, every atom is conscious in some way. This isn't solipsism, it's a recognition of the interconnectedness of all things. The universe is not just a collection of objects, it